You done mute? Gotcha.
Hi, Patrick. Thank you. I didn't quite understand how we would access your guide for how to do a live show.
I'm gonna send it to you after this is over. So the idea
Okay.
is like once the session's over, put this video in a web page, and then all those links and videos and books and everything that I mentioned in the video beforehand, and anything that we surface from now till the end, it'll all be in there, and then you can just yeah, get it right there. Yeah, thank you. That was an extremely easy question. Yep, Bob, I got you next.
Hi, I'm new to art storefronts, and I'm. Am I correct in thinking that this is a kind of a marketing class where you'll, as well as a website where you sell your work, will there be like a program to follow? Like you start at the beginning and then you just do what it says step by step. I'm a hand holding kind of, I need
Yeah,
someone to kind of lead me and guide me.
yeah, yeah. It's
Is that
like the easiest way for me to explain what we do is we are one part website technology product, and then we're one part postgraduate university that teaches art and photography, business and marketing. And like the teaching is extensive and it never ends and it's everything. It's the DIY guides, like the do-it-yourself, typical digital education products, and then it's Zoom sessions just like this, like multiple times a week. I mean, we have them like 5 days a week, sometimes six, sometimes multiple a day, um, where we'll teach you literally everything. Like we say, like, hey, we're all running a Mother's Day sale. Here's how we tease the sale. Here's what we do before the sale. Here's how we contemplate the discounts. Here's how to set up your store. Here's how to send the emails. Here's the email text that you should use. Here's how you post on Facebook, how you post on Instagram. Here's how you run a live art show during the sale. Then you extend the sale. So all of that is like step by step. And then, the thing that often gets glossed over is we can have the education product to teach you how to do that. Then we can have the classes. But what our customers are giving us the feedback on that they're finding perhaps the most inspiring is you're going through learning how to do all that and working on your marketing consistently for the first time in your life in cohorts of your peers. So there's a bunch of other people that look just like you in various parts of this country and others that are all trying to do the same thing all at once. And we'll have sessions sometimes that are like 2.5 hours and people stay the entire time and they don't even ask a question because they find it so valuable what they're learning from their peers and the things that they're bringing up and the things that they're struggling with. And if one person has a problem, turns out 10 people have a problem with it. So the session we had earlier today was auditing Instagram profiles, and that's all we did for 2 hours. Like showed best practices, what to do, what you must have, some of the most important things, and then everyone kind of just takes notes and starts executing on it. And yeah, so we teach that way. Ton of other support too, like all the normal support, tech tickets. Well, sometimes our technicians will make videos, and if you get stuck on things, if you're having a problem on Facebook or Instagram or Mailchimp, you can open a ticket, and our folks will help you with that too. So all of that is like mega in depth for sure. You meet it again though, Bob. I don't know if you have any follow ups. I'm gonna unmute you.
I'm uh I'm easily overwhelmed, even just watching that last video and
Everybody,
the live art
everybody
show.
is
Oh
Bob.
my goodness.
Everybody is. And to be honest with you, like you're gonna be for the first year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I mean,
Okay.
overwhelmed, or I'm drinking from a fire hose, or how can I get all of this done is like massive. And, another part of it is like almost all artists and photographers fall into this overwhelmed with the marketing, overwhelmed with the tech aspects, overwhelmed with doing it, overwhelmed with doing it consistently, and then they quit. Everybody treats their marketing and their business like a New Year's resolution, where they're like going to the gym 4 days a week, and then in March not going at all. Like, look, so I'm streaming this right now to Facebook. Kim's been a customer for how many years? 4 years. 3 years. 3 years. I'm completely overwhelmed constantly. So you just get after it and you keep learning and you keep pushing yourself, and somewhere along the line it starts clicking and you just get better and better and better and better. But it's the thing you want to do the least is where the highest ROI is. And the thing everybody wants to do the least is doing the marketing and getting the word out. So once you start working at it, like, things will start clicking, things will start going. How'd you find us, by the way, if you're brand new to us? Oh yeah, this is just the annoying thing about Zoom. Like, why can't you just unmute again? I know it's just the whole thing.
Just relentless ads on Facebook and all the positive reviews led me here. I'm in a Facebook course right now. It was $5,000. I'm not seeing any results, and I don't want to dump more money into something like this and it wind up being the same thing. So that's why I'm skittish.
So the reason that you're going to fail with the Facebook ads course, no matter how good it is the premise underpinning that course is false. And I don't know which one you're taking, but I have an idea. The premise is you can build a successful art business just by going onto Facebook and running ads and getting people to come to your website. Okay. And the reason why it will never work is because the easiest way I could explain it is a fishing analogy. Okay. And let's say that you and we just showed up at the docks and we're going to rent the exact same boat with similar captains, and we're going to go steam out to the fishing grounds independently of one another. And we're going to try and catch as much fish, as much seafood as we can and come back. You go steaming off, and in your boat, you have your Facebook ads course. That is essentially one line that you're going to have in the water, right? So you steam out to the middle of the ocean, you throw that line in the water, maybe you get lucky and catch some fish, but more often than not, because there's a lot of space out there in the ocean, you don't catch anything, you come home empty-handed. The difference between you and me is I'm doing my marketing consistently. I'm capturing emails on my website. I'm regularly emailing the emails on my website. I'm regularly updating my social media profiles. I'm having sales when the time is correct. I'm occasionally doing offline sales events. I'm running live art shows on a regular basis. All of that collectively is like just your marketing. And how it applies to the fishing analogy, whereas your boat just went out onto the water with the fishing line, my boat went out and I've got fishing lines, I've got nets, I've got crab pots, I've got harpoons, and no matter what the ocean throws at me, I'm going to be able to get the most ROI out of that trip out of there. And when you start working on your marketing consistently, then you have all of these additional ways to win and get more ROI from the marketing effort. So when you just have Facebook ads in the water and you don't have any of the rest of that going on, it is impossible. It is near impossible to see an ROI out of the Facebook ads effort. Period. End of sentence. And also, there's other steps and other complexity involved, but it infuriates me to see those things because I see the ads too, right? Take my incredible Facebook course. So and such got such and such result. And I know they are completely full of shit, pardon my French, because if you don't have all of this other marketing going on, you are not going to see an ROI on Facebook ads. I spent over $3 million on Facebook ads. There is no chance that you're going to go put $1 into the Facebook ads machine and it's going to spit out $5 if you are not doing all of these other things. Because the premise underpinning it is on Facebook are all of these people that have their hand up and they're ready to buy art right now. Not the case. Maybe 1 out of every 100 that you reach is considering buying art right now. The rest of them are not ready. And so unless you're getting those people on your list and you're getting those people into your ecosystem and you're marketing to them consistently, like let's say you show your Facebook ads to 100 people. In order for 20 or 30 of those people to be ready to buy art, you're going to have to be marketing to them for 5 years. For 5 years, because that's how long it's going to take until some of them are actually ready to buy art. And so when you start marketing consistently, you're dropping those 100 people into your ecosystem every few days. You're getting more email subscribers. You're getting more Instagram followers. You're getting more Facebook fans. You're getting more snail mail addresses if you're doing direct mail. And you just keep marketing consistently. And because you're marketing consistently, at certain periods of time, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, somebody out of that 100 has their hand up. And because you're marketing consistently, you got their attention. But I just don't, it's like winning the lottery to think you're going to be able to pull it off with just Facebook ads. Absolutely not. And it's just, it infuriates me, actually, because it's just, it does not work. It does not work. I don't know why they're selling those courses and people keep buying them. Like, it does not work. It's not enough. If you're not doing everything, you're never going to see an ROI from it. So I get fired up about that. But yeah, most of my customers are like, I'm ready to start running Facebook ads. Can I run Facebook ads? One, we advise that they don't even start running Facebook ads until they have over 2,000 sales directly from their website. That's number one. Number two, you don't start out with cold ads, which is what all these courses are telling you to do, right? Go and do interest targeting and find people that like this, that, and the other and show them ads. you're not ready to start there with those ads. You're ready to start only with warm ads. Warm ads are people that have engaged with your Instagram profile in the last 365 days. Warm ads are people that have engaged with your Facebook profile in the last 365 days. Warm ads are people that are on your email list, and warm ads are people that have interacted with your website. All of those collectively go into a bucket of warm ads, okay? Another way to think about it is you walk into a bar. Inside the bar are people that you just met last weekend and people that you've known your entire life and that you know the name of your kids on a first name basis, and everyone in between. Those people you know, that's who you show ads to, okay? The walking into a bar and you don't know a single solitary person, that's going after cold ads. And all of those courses teach you to go after cold ads, and I get that because you don't have an audience yet, but you're just not going to succeed. So I would not waste another minute of my time on the course. If you think the course is a good one and a valid one, you better have your art on a website. You better be capturing emails. You better be posting to the socials regularly, Facebook and Instagram. You better be having sales when the time is right. You better start running live art shows. Once you start doing all of that, you made over $2,000 in sales, then go and take the Facebook ads course. Then it might stand a chance on getting some ROI. I'm going to unmute you again just in case you have one more follow-up on that.
Yeah, so your course, if we're not doing ads, you're going to teach us how to warm up to people.
Yeah, we teach the whole thing. The whole thing. You have to have the whole thing. The whole thing is comprehensive marketing. It's like, another terrible example is like, I'm just going to boost posts, and that should work. Do not ever boost a post. Okay, take the money, go out in the backyard, light it on fire. At least we get a little warmth out of the money. Okay, because boosting posts is going to get you absolutely nothing. And you spending money on Facebook right now without having those other things in place, and you don't need to tell me, I already know you don't have those other things in place, you are going to be lighting that money on fire as well. Period, full stop. See if you can return it. I know you probably can't return it, but you know what I mean. Like I just don't want to see you wasting your time, because there's the odds of you making it with that course without doing the other things are sort of like the odds of making it as a professional athlete if you played a sport. How many people do you know that made it to the pros? Not a lot. Me either. Not a lot. Like, I was pretty good at soccer. I'm not going to be playing versus Mexico City on the U.S. men's national team next week, so I'm aware of that. But it's really important to say that, and I say that with a lot of years of marketing experience. Don't waste your time until you get those other things in place, and also don't waste your time if you're not prepared to do it consistently. The other reason everyone fails on Facebook ads is they say, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a test, and I'm going to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads. And if it works, I'll keep going. And if not, I'll quit. And you would have stood a chance if you paid $1,200, but you wouldn't need to spend $100 a month for 12 months in a row. What everyone does is like, I'm just going to go run this test and see how it goes. And maybe it'll work out. It never works out. You have to do it consistently all year long. No one does it consistently all year long. And if you're not marketing consistently in that period, you will never make it. And that's almost the truth for just about any business within reason. There's lots of nuance in businesses, but that's what I would say.
Thanks, Patrick, for your time.
Yeah, no problem, Bob. Sorry to poke holes in the Facebook course thing, but I don't want to see you wasting your time. That's all I'm saying. Dave's asking, I'm curious what the conversion rate of people who attend these meetings and become customers. Good question, and I haven't tracked that, Dave. What I have tracked, though, which is interesting, is that nearly 100% of people that do end up signing up for art storefronts either come to one of these live or watch a replay, one of the two. So it's like it sort of feels like an important step in the whole thing. Okay, so this is a good one. So James has been on a couple of these sessions before. And by the way, I'll tell Nancy. Why sunglasses? I had eye surgery like a month ago, and these bright lights are still driving my eye nuts, and so that's what I'm doing. So James' question is interesting. It says, okay, I've had someone ask if specific work was for sale in private messages. I gave the price. It's too high. I asked what they'd offer and wait and see what they say. This conversation has happened privately with them initiating it. If they make the question in public comments of a post, should I address it differently? Private message them and say it's for sale at XXX? No, who cares? No one's going to see it, James. Just post it. James has been on one of these sessions before, and one of the common refrains that I get from people is like, people tell me all the time that my work is awesome, right? Or people tell me all the time I should start a business. Or people tell me my work is so amazing that I really just got to start a business. And you have to train yourself, you guys, when that happens, to say, that's awesome, you should buy one. And then shut up with that awkward pause. And then say, here's what I have for sale, here's what the price is. And then shut up and see what they say. And if they say, that's a little expensive for me, say, okay, make me an offer. Then shut up. Notice the awkward silence. You get into that habit, and you'll know instantaneously whether or not these people are being nice or whether or not they're actually going to purchase. Because there's a whole lot of people out there that are really nice, and I love that have no intention of purchasing. And there is no button on the ATM machine for likes, comments, shares. Everyone tells me my work is great. I won a competition. I got into a juried show. Nobody cares. None of that matters at all. The only thing that matters is if you can take your art and sell it to strangers. If you can, you have a business on your hands. If not, you have an uncertainty that you need to solve, and the only way you can solve it is trying to sell your art, your photography. Okay. Yeah, so yes, James, continue the conversation in public. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good question. Dave's got another question. Dave, you might as well come on video. You got the killer background going on.
All right, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. You could pull the same green screen circus thing that I'm going on with that background.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about it, Patrick. But in regards to Instagram, I've seen this trend over the last 4 or 5 months where almost every post I put up, I'll get multiple people who are like, hey, DM that to such and such. So then you do that, and then they start sending you, DMs back saying, hey, for, $18, we can add 10,000 followers, or for $75, we can add 50. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a complete waste of time?
Yeah, it is. It totally is. There's so many people that do it. Here's what I would say. There is a minimum credibility barrier that a good Instagram profile has. Okay. And meeting the good credibility barrier is really, really important. And I'll do show and tell in just a second. So you have to get there. Okay. You have to get there early on. And, you can cheat a little bit if you want to get started, and that'll help out. But it's not a long-term status for success. And when I say a minimum credibility barrier, when we see a product that we like, and we're like, oh, that thing's pretty cool. What do? We go to Amazon and we go look at the reviews, right? Are the reviews good? And that's the way that we credit check that product and help ourselves make the buying decision. Well, when it comes to art and photography, when somebody gets drawn into your ecosystem or drawn into your world, any which way they get drawn in, the next thing that they do is they go to Instagram and they check out your Instagram profile and they see what's going on. Now, the first step in that is, does the Instagram profile in question meet the minimum credibility barrier? Okay. And if it meets the minimum credibility barrier, then you're in good shape. If it doesn't, then they usually bounce. And so it hurts your sales. And so I literally ran a workshop on this earlier today. Let me get one of the ones that I think is awesome. And,
yeah, I'm curious what your definition of the minimum credibility barrier is.
So let me just show you art storefronts, and I'm going to break this down, right? Number one, you better have a clear and clean in focus profile photo. That sounds stupid easy to say, but you'd be surprised how many people screw that up. 2, you better have a bio. This is ours because we're a business. And then 2, I really like having a link tree here. And there's a whole bunch of different services, paid and otherwise. And the link tree is sort of, the easiest way to think about it is Instagram is 1, your website is 2, the link tree is 1.5. It's a step before you get to the website. And it connotes a professional look. Then you need to have story highlights. You click on these things, you can go through them, and these story highlights are credibility. The next thing people look at is they look at your makeup of posts, okay? And as they're scrolling down, ours is a business, so it's a little bit different. I'm going to jump onto an artist. Let's see which one I have that's close here. I don't want to pick on anyone, but so this is Laura, and she wanted me to take a look at hers. And so I come onto hers. 1, profile picture. It's actually her in focus, looks good. 2, we have a nice bio here. She's saying what she does. She's got a little bit of personality into it. And then she's got her link tree, right? Same kind of thing, which has a menu. It's that 1.5 step between where you are, where you need to be. She's got story highlights going on. Now, I want her to fill these out, and that's what I told her earlier today. Then I come down, and obviously she's at 12,000 followers, so automatically she meets the barrier. Then I scroll down and I look and see, are there photos of her? Are there photos of her holding her art? Are there photos of her in her personal life, sharing who she is as a person? Because guess what? That's important to people to understand who the artist is. She meets all of those credibility barriers, okay? Let me give you an example of someone that failed earlier. And I shout out to Barb because, I audited hers. So follower account, okay, right? Bio, a little too simple for me. Needs to mix some personality into it. Needs a link tree here instead of a link just directly to her website. And we have one of these at Art Storefronts. If you don't want to use Linktree, you can use ours. But do you notice as I'm looking at her profile, what do you notice here? Aside from the one photo she's finally getting on board of herself, and this is some merchandise she has for sale in her store, 2D image after 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 2D image. There's no photos of her. There's no photos of what she's into. There's no photos of her in her process and setting up and hiking to shots. All of this is just 2D image after 2D image. The problem with that is you guys, are creatives that have this incredible power of visualization that normal people don't. You guys aren't selling 2D images. You're selling this. This is real. It's got 3 dimensions. It hangs on the wall. It's tangible. I can visualize what it is. I can covet it. I can actually desire it. 2D images don't get you there. Like, stated another way, if I hired you, Dave, to come sell knives for me door to door, and you were going to knock on doors and try to sell knives, what would you have in your hand when you knocked on the door?
Spoons.
Exactly. You'd have the spoons. You wouldn't have photos of the spoons, right? You'd have the spoons because you'd have to be a pretty damn good salesman if you were going to be able to sell me knives with just photos of the knives.
Right.
So, you better be holding your art, right? So that's what I would say.
That's really interesting.
That's a minimum credibility check. What is your Instagram? Let's just get her done here. What is it?
At David Scott.
David, is it David Scott, or you actually got David Scott? David Scott, all one word. Did I lose you?
Yep.
All right, hold on.
Should be a lot of black and white stuff.
This is you. Yeah, so you're 239. You're getting up there. I stop with the chain link fence portfolio photo, okay? You in front of the chain link fence if you like, but get a photo of you on there. The 239 followers, obviously you need to continue to work on that. But again, 2D image, 2D image, 2D image. What are you selling? Are you selling
images mostly?
Yeah, are you selling JPEGs? I mean, you're at least showing me you having a beer, right? So here's a little personality, and that's obviously why you and I get along. So I'd love to have a beer right about now. But yeah, you need to start getting some of these made into prints. You need to be holding them up. You need to be merchandising. You need to be talking about them. And another important factor too is like, when we look at an Instagram post mock-up, okay, first of all, there's nothing even here telling me that you're a business. All that tells me is you're like shooting photos. I don't even know that anything's for sale. Like, what the hell is going on here, right? So as I look at some of these other ones, like, as I scroll down to hers, somewhere in here there'll be information about sales, right? And if I scroll down here and, I find one that says a sale, and she probably has some of them going on in video. She has a ton of videos that I don't want to look at. This is a great thing to have too. Like, where the hell are the people that just bought your art that have it ready to go, right? This is a form of social proof and social credibility. Like, whoa, this artist is selling things. They're doing a great job selling things. This looks amazing, right? But I want to see posts occasionally that are highlighting. There we go. So here I came through this whole feed, right? And I just clicked on this thing, and I'm like, damn, I missed a sale. She had a sale. I wonder if she's going to have another sale. And so that creates a little bit of FOMO, right? But Laura does a great job of a post makeup. You have to give a little bit of your life. I don't care showing what you had for breakfast, okay? Or the nonsensical social BS. But give me a window into who the hell Dave is. What does he do? What is he into, right? Like, I need to know that stuff, because how the heck else am I going to bond with you?
So can we utilize our personal Instagram for our business as well, or is it best to have a separate Instagram account just for the business?
That one's tough. I would say, if you don't care really about Instagram and you're not like on there following all the time, and you're not really interested in keeping it small for some reason and having only family and friends, I would just merge the two, because, you know, I mean, it's easier to babysit one kid or two, right? One. But you know, that's sort of a personal decision, and you just figure it out. But yeah, you need to, like, that post makeup and your post makeup, their profiles were way more interesting than yours, right? Yours is just 2D images. And the crazy thing too, like that so few people understand, it's like, yeah, but my art is amazing. My images are amazing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how insanely good your work is, because contemplate what we're all bombarded with all day long on every social site, on every news site, just image after image after image after image after image after image after image. And after a while, it's not interesting anymore. We're just naturally, like, you know, blind to it. It doesn't hit like the same dopamine receptors. And so when you see these ones that are really nice in a nice blend of everything, and there's videos in here, and there's stuff of the process and merchandising and everything else, it's just more compelling. It's more interesting, right? And it's like, you know, I always like to give an example too that's like not based in the art world, like, you know, and I'll use my wife as a buying example. Like, you know, my wife and I live in this old dumpy house, and we have to remodel it soon, and so we're sitting here contemplating doing that. And my wife is looking for interior decorators. I can't even afford to rebuild the house. I don't know why she's looking at the interior decorators, but that's what she's doing. So when you follow an interior decorator, you'll inevitably go to their website, but after you're on their website, that's not enough. You want to go to Instagram, because you need to be sold. You need to sell yourself more, because on every single solitary person's Instagram, interior design website, they're all the same. It's like, here's 3 or 4 rooms and houses that I did, and here's the beautiful photos, and they're high end, and contact me. Duh. Everyone goes to the Instagram because they want to see the rooms, they want to see the process, and they want to see where these people get their ideas and the knickknacks and everything else, and they follow you. And it is such an important part of the sales cycle for an interior designer. If you don't have an active Instagram account regularly posting what you're posting, you are not generating the type of sales that your business could be. And it's not so far different for art. It's the credit check, right? It's the credit check. So you're well on your way. You got to just switch up that post makeup, start ordering some prints. You probably don't even have any prints on hand. How many prints do you have on hand? Don't BS me.
None other than what's on my walls.
So take the damn ones off the walls and start taking some photos with you in them, okay?
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Okay. Oh, yeah. James, do you want to follow her? Yeah, that's all good. I'll send it to you. All right, I'll put it in the chat. Hold on. I'll go and get it. Yeah, we literally just had like a whole huge workshop on this today on exactly what you need to have. You know, what the post makeup needs to look like. And, you know, it's the thing that's so profound about it that people often miss out on. And I think like one of the most common, of course, I just closed. Oh, here it is. I'm going to send it to you. Hold on, James. Sorry. You know, everyone always asks me like, hey, I don't have a niche yet. I got to have a niche, right? I got to have a niche that, you know, once I have a niche, I could launch. And, you know, it's so important that I have a niche. You guys have to realize that you're a part of the brand, okay, as much as the work is. Both of these things collectively are part of the brand. And know, like, and trust is just as important in an art transaction as it is in any other transaction. And it's funny. So I was doing one more audit today, and I did this live, and it was actually really, really classic. But this is how it worked on me today, okay, in real time. And I'm not kidding. I'm going to show you this. Not that one. This one. So this guy Tyler sent in his profile. He's like, will you know, can you take a look at it? Can you help audit me? And I was like, okay, social follower count done. Bio good. You know, I paint quiet, moody but hopeful landscapes. Right? He shows a little personality. He's got his link tree, and he's got his story highlights. And then I started to look at his post makeup, and I was scrolling down, and you know, he has a very unique work, and it's totally interesting the way that he does it. He like comes out of these like tiles. I don't want to get into it, but I scrolled down. Okay, and this is what worked on me in real time. And one, you know, I have similar looking dogs, so that got me. But I was scrolling down, and I looked at this, and I was like, well, this is an interesting picture. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing here? I was like, I snowboard. I like snowboarding. I was like, wait, I have a Vespa. I like Vespas too. I actually want to talk to him about this now. Where the heck was this all going on, right? And then I found I wanted to ask him about that. And I'm like, because he showed me a little bit of who he was there, I now like felt a little bonded to him on some level. And I was like, hey, we share some of the same interests. And now like I'm a little bit liker to know, like, and trust, right? And that's profound and that's powerful. And if I can't get that out of visiting your profile because it's just dead and you just have nothing but 2D images, you're never going to get the ROI. You're never going to get the total ROI. There's people that are going to come into your ecosystem, see the crappy follower count, and say, I'm over it, not follow you. See the fact that you don't have anything professional in your bio or you don't have a link tree, I'm going to bounce. And these are just the artists and photographers' Amazon reviews. That's just what they are. That's what society has said. This is the social signals that sends to somebody who's on Instagram that says, this person is going somewhere. This person is out there creating awesome stuff. And I want to follow and I want to see and I want to understand what's going on here. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And no, Dave, I can't send you the workshop. It was internal. So it was just for customers. It wasn't a public facing one. But I gave you a pretty good taste anyway there. So you're on your way. Kristen's asking me, how do you know you can trust the buyer? If the check clears, Kristen. If the check clears, that's usually my number one way to know. It's funny. I'm selling a car right now, and it's like the same kind of thing with like, when you're selling a car, like how do you know you can trust them? Like, do you go and take the check to the bank? Do you get one of those like counterfeit dollar pens and like do it on every $100 bill? Like, I don't know how it goes. But who else, guys? Questions? Andy, you got a camera on, so I'd pick on the low-hanging fruit. I don't know if you have one or not. Oh, Kristen, you are still in here. I'm gonna unmute you, Kristen. You'll just have to hit the mic icon bottom left-hand corner if you want to ask specifically about the buyer thing. I'm assuming you have like certain situations. If it's somebody emailing you from Nigeria saying they've come into a recent inheritance, definitely don't trust that one, too. By the way. It's like a famous like internet scammer. There's a ton of scammers out there, but if they're very easy to detect who's a real buyer and who's not a real buyer. But what else, guys? Questions? You guys are shy for a Friday. Normally I'm overwhelmed with questions. It's okay if you don't. We can keep it short. We don't have to go too in depths. But if any of you guys can think of one, I'm more than happy to answer them. And it doesn't necessarily need to be about art storefronts. Whatever's going on with marketing. And Kim, throw your Instagram handle in the chat, and I'll do yours if you want. Not really, Dave. No, I just do the the more one-to-many sessions. It's just how it ends up going. Oh yeah, Water Plus Ink. So Kim's a customer. She's given me her Instagram handle. I'll audit hers. Without giving away the store. Just kidding. I could care less about giving the store. None of you guys are ever going to take action anyway. It's always what happens. Yeah, so this is good, Kim. You got 790 followers on here. I don't see anything active in your stories. I'd like to see what's active in your stories. I like the bio, right? Like, it's an interesting looking bio. Endangered wildlife, pets. She's got some interesting emojis in here. Florals, watercolor, and ink. Prints, limited editions, originals, merch available. And so you use Beacon, which I'm sure is a Linktree competitor. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. I like it though. I mean, it's a good start. So Etsy shop, shopped all art, pet portraits, shop commissions. Are you selling more in your Etsy, Kim, than you are in your art storefronts? If not, if you are, fine. Otherwise, demote it all the way down to the bottom. Or you should probably only be sending that traffic to your website, not Etsy. I like that you have shop commissions on here. I like that you have shop digital products too. So more or less that looks good. The story highlights should roughly reflect what's in your link tree. Like I would have an About Me section on here. I would have originals, limited editions, press if you have any. Live art shows is a good one to have. Commissions, contact me. Kim, there's too many 2D images in here. And, I know you're doing a ton of shows, and so I want to see more stuff from you in the booth. Or I'd certainly like to see more, but I love the booth setup. And then I'm hoping I'm going to see a bunch of your lives in here too. There needs to be more of you, Kim. There's not enough of you in here. I mean, where is Kim? There she is. I had to get all the way down to here to find you. So I definitely want more than that. Let's see what you're doing reels, I bet, already too. Very cool. You got a bunch of those. Okay, good. You're in a bunch of these. Let me see your videos. Yep, good video makeup. You're talking about it. Yeah, you're doing good, Kim. You're doing good. and your follower count's legit and you're posting regularly, I would like to see a little bit more. Like, you know, it's funny because each one of the portions of Instagram is sort of like its own little siloed world. Like the stories are a silo and people spend a ton of time there. The posts are a silo. People spend a ton of time there. The videos are a style. People spend a ton of time there too. So that's what I would say. But more or less, Kim, you're doing a good job. Oh, was I not sharing my screen that whole time? That's annoying. You guys got to tell me this. So here's what's Kim's that I just audited. Kim, I hope that all made sense to you. I sort of forget Instagram like doesn't behave in Chrome, so I have to use this like other browser, which makes things a little bit complicated. Yeah, April told me. April, next time you catch me doing that, just speak up. Just tell me. You know, that's what I would say. All right. Yeah, so I think Andy was saying he doesn't understand the highlights on Instagram. Yeah, so it's really easy, Andy. You do, and I'll unmute you if you in case you have a follow. You create a story. Okay, do you know how to do a story? The story, yeah, and then once the story is done, you can save it, and then it becomes a highlight, and then you can give it a thumbnail. So like, you know, when you sex up the design on it, like Kim did here, let me make sure I'm showing it off. You know, so you can. These are just stories. So if I click on it, you see how it's just a regular story.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can start the story highlight, and then you can add to this particular story later on down the line. And then you can also give it a thumbnail as how you like, you know, make the design look cool. Like on the Art Storefronts one, how do we do ours? You know, we made like cool little icons for each one. But they're all.
So it's basically just a way to save the story so that people can see it.
Exactly. And in terms of like fundamentals of an Instagram page, it's sort of like it should be roughly reflective of the menu on your website is like kind of a way to think about it. Right.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. At a high level. But, you know, like one of our customers that I think just does a kick-ass job at it, Meg makes art. I love the job she does at this, right? And so she's got 11,000 followers, really good bio, artist plus alchemist, paintings rooted in research, storytelling, Jayhawks, nature, portraits, and more, right? And then I love this line, featured by the KC Star, ESPN, West Bottoms. I don't know what the hell West Bottoms is, but the reason I really like all of that, where did I go? I lost her. Is it's a little bit of social proof, right? And she's great on social proof because she's got a press section, and I love this press section, right? Because she's a local Kansas City artist, right? And so her press section is like, look at how quick this was. Like she was featured on whatever this is, KC Star or something like that, and she pulled it up on her laptop. She took a picture of it with her cell phone, right? Like done, you know. And I love it when you get to the point where you can have a press section, right? And so you know she's showing it. She's doing all of this with her phone. You know, she's showing off herself. She got on some TV show, whatever. You know, here she is on some other video thing. Like instantaneously, if I just got sucked into her ecosystem, I'd be like, whoa, who is this? Who is this woman? Where she's going places. This is impressive, right? So you can do it that way. If you don't have press, that's just an idea. You know, she's got her latest works, like some of her best-selling stuff, and then you know, preview art. If I was to critique her, I would say make this a little bit more reflective of what's going on in your menu. I would probably do press. I think this Tony Bourdain piece is like her next best-selling artwork, and she just did like a big, huge promotion on it, I know. But I would almost rather see press, originals, prints, limited editions, commissions, contact, right? Kind of like what you would see in a traditional you know, web page, homepage, and that's really what it is. And people underestimate the power of the link tree concept, right? Which is was I just not sharing my screen again on that, or did you guys see that? You did.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really hard when you go out and you're doing marketing, okay? And you're sending emails, right? And you're posting things occasionally, and you've got, you know, the Instagram link in your bio, and you're out doing all these things running around. Well, by having the link tree, you have one link that goes all of these places. And you have the ability to update that one link globally, and it goes backwards, forwards in time. So I could save an email from you and not be ready to buy art. 6 months later, I'm like, I'm interested. I go to that email, I click the link tree, and boom, there's a little mini website with all your latest, you know, up to date stuff. So it's It's a really just powerful digital business card, that little concept. But anyway, got on.
So is the link tree, because I've heard you mention that now a few times.
Yeah.
Is that something that is part of your system
So
specifically, or
it's a free and paid app. Linktree is. We offer one for free as well. That's on our website. It's not quite as jazzy as this one is. As this service is. And there's like 5 of these services. There's like Linktree, there's Later, there's whatever that one, Kim was using earlier. And it's basically, just this little quick, links, videos type of page. And you can, you're placing the link everywhere, and then you're updating this thing once, and then it updates everywhere instantaneously, right?
so I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those pages, you basically have one link to the page, and then the page has all the different sort of sub menus to it.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. It's just a part of it, but also too, like, Instagram is the most important social media site in terms of art and photography sales right now.
I know, and I hate it.
Facebook,
I hate it.
yeah, I know. Facebook is a close second, okay, and still really important. So you can't forget about one or the other. And everyone like constantly tells me, like, especially like the younger kids that are like in their 20s or maybe even their 30s, they're like, none of my friends are on Facebook. Why the hell do I need to be on Facebook? 1, because you play the long game. 2, these stupid things are going to be reality. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's happening, okay? People are going to start wearing these, and they're going to start shopping for art. And my bet is that Facebook is going to be the one that wins. Obviously, they're betting pretty heavy on it. They just changed their whole damn name to it, right? So we have to be on Facebook because, you guys are going to be in this business for the rest of your life. Why wouldn't you want to have these things sorted out, right? Like, super important. So anyway, that's the rant. So yes, I'm telling you, you got to get on it. And yes, you have to be pragmatic about it. I hate it too. I'm a social media marketing expert, and I haven't posted anything personally in 10 years.
Well, I appreciate your explanation of that, because all my daughter would tell me is that, Dad, you have to do it. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So,
but she wasn't wrong.
well, I know.
Yeah. Have her do it for you.
Yeah, it's, how that goes though. Sometimes it's, like you're saying, you want to post things that are relevant and sort of on the moment. So I have to be able to do that.
Yes, you do. It's you just have to be contrarian about it, right? Like, do I have to do this, Patrick? Well, I don't know, Andy. You and I are both fishermen, and it stands to reason we should probably drive the boat to where the damn fish are, right? And the fish are on Instagram, and that's just the nature of the beast. Now, that might change, but for right now, they're on Instagram, And it doesn't matter what tier of the art market you're selling into. Like, you're selling into the low end, you're selling into the high end. Even all the highest end buyers report that, that Instagram plays a big role in the buying decision. So it's important. It's one of those things. And who was I beating up about the Facebook ads course earlier? Can't remember what was his name. Is he still here? I don't know if he's still here or not. Anyway, it's just an important part of the entire thing, and you have to be on Instagram, and you have to be marketing on there regularly, and it's actually kind of fun once you get into it.
Well, and I appreciate your information too about what to post, because for forever I struggled with that, because I would post actual digital images of my artwork, and then I thought, well, that sucks because there's really no context to it. A lot of my work is bigger prints, so you lose all context on Instagram to that. So I did start posting more, like you're saying, context with actual physical prints. So, but I haven't really taken it past that, which is why I'm interested in what you guys have, what you have going on.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. There's a lot to learn early on, like, especially the first year, once you sign up and you get going, like, it's a pain in the ass in the beginning. It just is. There's no two ways around it. I'm sorry that it is. You have to learn a ton of stuff that you've never done, that you don't want to do. And you just sort of struggle and you grind through it. And then once you do, every year the business actually starts growing. And every year you can't have the rug pulled out from underneath you. And it's the highest leverage way to grow an art business. Like, I literally believe that this industry is sort of in its Blockbuster Netflix moment. It's taxi cab Uber moment, meaning the traditional distribution model of the only way you're going to make it is through a gallery in which they take 50% and they don't tell you who you're purchasing is gone. You don't need to be in that tenant-farmer relationship anymore. Now, the internet truly has made it possible for you to be able to be an artist, be a photographer that can sell their stuff worldwide. And that's fantastic. That's amazing. That's incredible. But it doesn't mean it's easy. You still have to grind for a couple of years. And the only way to get the work out there, to get it in front of eyeballs, is to focus on this marketing. And it makes a ton of sense, right? Because if I asked everyone on this call, and let's say there's 28 people left on this call, every one of them, to a person, to a man, to a woman, would say, I just want to create, and I want someone to do everything else. That's what everybody wants. You just want to create, and that's fantastic, but that's not a job, is it? That's winning the lottery. You're just going to create and not do anything else. And it's nonsense. Even the most successful ones are constantly still doing this. That's just the nature of the beast. That's what I'd say.
But does your platform, from what I've read so far, it seems like your platform allows for you all to automate more of that.
It does. It does. We're working more and more towards automation. We're also, we also have a full-blown in-house marketing agency too that just services our clients. It's not free. You have to pay for it. But the reality is that, as we've grown and matured as a business, 80% of our customer base has full-time jobs. 20% are full-time artists. Now, we have a lot of photographers, and so many of them are, service-based photographers. They're wedding photographers, or they're doing portraits or AYSO stuff, and that's their job. And then they're also trying to build the fine art business. So there's some of that in there. But you don't have all, you only have 24 hours in a day, right? So we had to create the agency that has the ability to say, hey, here's the ability to go and purchase a one-off product off the shelf to give yourself a little shot in the arm, run my Facebook ads, run this sale for me, help me grow my Instagram followers, all the way up to fully managed followers and everything in between. So we're maturing that way, and then we're working now on a game-changing automation app, because so much of a well-executed sale especially is a repeatable process to a certain extent. Tease the sale, announce the sale, have the discounts, here's what you're selling, this email that day, that we feel like we can automate a bunch of that into an app where here's what we think you should send. Here's email copy A, here's email copy B. You can just click send and it's done, or you can change it however you see fit, then send. That's done, that's scheduled, right? The hardest thing that we found is not creating the best education that exists on the planet to sell art and photography. And that's not hyperbole. We have it. There's not really that much competition in that department. Having that is not enough, because nobody executes on it. It's still a constant game of carrot and stick to get people to actually execute on it and do it, right? I mean, I've been banging the drum on these live art shows for so long, I can't even begin to tell you. My customers are terrified of doing it. Terrified of getting on video. I have to carry them kicking and screaming across the line, and the results that we're seeing with them are so insane, it's mind-boggling. Not everybody. Kim on here, shout out to Kim, has done a bunch of them. But yeah. Anyway, that was really.
I'm not familiar with, the live art show. Is that an online live art show? Something that
Did you not see the presentation early on?
I jumped on a little late. Sorry.
Yeah, you jumped on a little late. So I'm gonna send you guys all a guide after the fact, but I'll pull one up just so you can see. So the concept of a live art show is, it's essentially video of you holding your work and attempting to sell it, right? And I'll rattle through a bunch of different examples here. I'm just pulling the thing up, make sure I'm in the right account. Am I in the right account? I am. Playlists. So I'll show you. And the premise is that, number one, that you do this. Number two, that you would stream it live either to Instagram or to Facebook or to YouTube or to all of them at the same time. But the idea is that you're holding your pieces up, and this is Meg. I showed her earlier, actually.
We can
she's
choose
awesome. Oh yeah, thanks, April. So there's one. She's reading comments right now. I'm trying to get one where she's holding up a piece. I'll just go to the next one. We literally run hundreds of these, and I've never seen anything that's so insanely effective at moving art in my life. And yeah, there's a bunch of tradecraft to it, but at the end of the day, every single solitary one of you that has inventory could run one today with just this. You could just go live on the platform in which you have the most followers, hold up your art, merchandise it, talk about it, let everyone know the pieces are for sale, and that's it. That's the ball game. And we've done a ton of We've done a ton of hacking from a software standpoint. I mean, we've run literally hundreds of these. A lot of times I have to, like, you know, get my customers to or help them out to get them over the line. But now more and more and more are starting to run them. But, you know, you look at this. Oh, there's Kim. Shout out to Kim. She was the one Instagram profile I looked at earlier. Hold on. Hers is loading up. So got her work, talking about it, selling it, merchandising it, articulating it. And you don't need anything fancy to do this. Like, here's Tony, this one that's loading. I love this because this guy's like he's like a surf photographer in Florida. And so, you know, total surfer's garage, right? Multiple boards racked up on the wall, a bunch of skateboards racked up on the wall. And as he goes through, he's holding his work, selling it, talking about it, taking questions live, interacting with his potential buyers, saying what the prices are. People are making offers, everything else. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's a phenomenal way to sort of leverage the latest and greatest technology. But I mean, we're iterating on these techniques and tactics so hard I can't even begin to tell you. We've run literally every niche, every different type of person, every subject matter, various different parts of this country and other countries, and the results are just phenomenal. I mean, they're just absolutely phenomenal. I have never seen a more effective marketing technique or tactic to sell art photography that exists. And it makes a ton of sense, right? Because when have you guys ever ordered a bunch of prints, actually shown them off, actually quoted prices, and actually gone through the entire thing, right? Like, you guys just don't do this. It's like, you know, like looking at Dave's Instagram account before. Like, why didn't he have any images of him holding images? Because no one's ever told you of how damn important it is. It's the whole freaking ball game. Like, we, the buyer, need to see the real artistic piece, or we're never going to get it planted in our head that we need to have it, right? So they're super fun. But I'm going to send you a guide. It'll be in here. I'm going to send you one of these things after this whole thing's over. It'll be a replay, and in here is how to run live art shows, a quick start guide. So I think you should watch that. Oh yeah, this one's really cool too. I love showing off this one because this guy, my buddy, who I always make fun of for the no sleeves on the shirt, he had his show. He had a show hanging in the gallery, right? An actual real world, real life live art show, and day after the show is over, turned the cameras on, went in there, streamed it on all the social sites, and, you know, just walked through it. And it's like, it's so cool because here he is, you know, he's got a glass of wine in his hand, and it's not so different from the real thing, is it? It sort of feels like you're there in the art gallery with him, and these people are asking various different questions, and you're getting to see the pieces up close. And in some cases, they have red dots on them already, and so you're like, oh, wow, that's sold, right? Which is the real-world example of social proof. When you walk into a gallery, night opens, and half the pieces already have the red dots on them, right? Already over with. So there's many iterations of how these things can go, but they're just insanely powerful. So that's what I'd say. All right. Well, what else, guys? Comments, questions, concerns? Good for you, Mark. I love seeing this. Don't give up on marketing. Keep at it, Mark. I like that advice. All right, guys. Well, no more questions. I think we'll leave it there. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Friday. I would say if you're at all interested in us and what we do and you want to learn more, the next step is to request a demo. The demo is a 1-hour Zoom session that is like the test drive of the software and all the bells and whistles and everything that we offer. And then you can decide if our platform is for you or not for you. And April's got links in the chat. You can just click one of those things and fill out the simple little form, and somebody will call you. Oh, we actually have one coming up. We have 2 coming up this weekend, I think. You actually don't need to fill out the form if you just want to come this weekend. And when we start getting towards the end of the month, things get crazy. So let me just go to, is it in the link tree already, April, or no? Probably not. Not yet. Okay. But we're having one on Saturday, one on Sunday that I both believe are at 1 p.m. CST. So we'll send you information on that. You'll definitely get an email from us over the weekend. So that's something to look into. All right, James Porter, go ahead. Give you the final question for today.
What are your thoughts on hashtags? Like, are they effective at all? They're kind of like the SEO of like Instagram, it feels like, and it's SEO isn't what it used to be.
Yeah. True that. In as much as it's something that you can do in, basically a minute, right, to add to a post, they're important, but I don't give it any more thought than that. Like it can be helpful sometimes, and like, even in my own browsing behavior, right? And like when you're an Instagram user, like case in point, like I'm contemplating an outdoor kitchen and I really like cooking, right? And so a lot of times I will go in and search, and then I'll search hashtags, and I'll see which ones have the highest following, and then I'll go into that hashtag, and then I'll see what the other ones around it are, and I'll click around those, and that's my own personal behavior. But there's not that many people that do that all the time. So thanks, April. So don't overthink it. Don't spend more than a minute, but you should have them rather than none.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But they're not a make or break. I mean, really, they're not. I mean, they'll help out a little bit, but it's like anything else. Everything helps a little bit, and then you never know what actually got you over the line. So it's just about doing your marketing consistently. But okay. Oh yeah, April, you put those things in. You are quick on the draw, April. Hold on, I'll show you guys. So if you want to register for this, let me just get my screen share going on. So let me do Art Storefronts. I've looked at so many Instagram accounts today, I can't even begin to tell you. So just to let you guys know that I eat my own dog food around here, okay? So my Linktree menu is like, look, live demo Saturday, 1 p.m. CST. Live demo Sunday, 1 p.m. CST. So you can click those things and you'll get like the same Zoom link registration that that you got to come onto this one. And instead of me yapping, it will be someone from the outreach team that like literally will do a screen share on the software, how it works, all the behind the scenes stuff, all the pricing, all the packages, all the plans, and then you can ask questions just like you did on this one, or didn't. So if you're around this weekend, you can definitely check those two things out. I'll put the link in the chat. We'll also email it to you. And on that note, I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful weekend. Hope to see you guys on either a future session or on the inside.